Hi there, everybody. Welcome to this special edition, this PocaTV production for IRITS, the Rastafari Indigenous village in Montego Bay in Jamaica. It is my great pleasure to be asked to interview one of my oldest and best friends, especially for the event on June 25th. Please welcome DJ Conscious of ConsciousRadio.net. How are you doing, DJ?
I am fine, Poca. How are you?
Just so fine. Welcome to this special edition. I,
Thank you for having me.
you're so welcome. I'm going to take you through your life so that
hmm
people know who they are dealing with. Because very briefly, let me tell them that you will be conducting. No, you tell them yourself. The sound system on June 25th.
On June 25th, I'll be taking my sound system and I'll be taking it outside of my yard for the first time ever. So that's quite a new thing as well. And we'll be stringing up at IRITS, and the plan is I will be doing what I usually do at IRITS, which is select tunes in between the live acts. And after the live acts at the end, and this is the difference compared to previous IRITS events, I will be running my sound system as a proper sound system session through the night.
Well, congratulations. I wish I could be in Jamaica to be part of it, but I can't. So we have very little time for this interview, DJ. So I'm going to take you straight back to your early years. This was you born in
1962 in London, England.
a happy boy,
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. Yeah.
well fed, that is for sure.
Yeah. I
So
was very happy then. Yeah.
yeah, so this young fellow quickly grew up and became the person I met about 20 years ago. Your life was very different then. Tell me what you were doing there and how that even links to reggae.
Okay, well, the picture on the right is of me at my desk at a radio station in London called Kiss FM, which was kind of a dream job for me. And one of the reasons I actually loved Kiss personally was because of the reggae that they output, and they were one of very few radio stations, legal and pirate, that were playing any kind of reggae, but they happened to be playing the kind of reggae that appealed to me, which was roots reggae, and you couldn't find that anywhere.
How did you get linked up with roots reggae?
Um, Roots reggae. How did I get linked up with that? I got introduced to Bob Marley, U-Roy, Prince Buster, Scatterlights, but I also then at some point found out about this artist called Augustus Pablo and King Tubby's and Lee Perry. And I started to go to a particular record shop in London, which was in Soho, which was called Daddy Cool, spelt with a K. And that's where I bought my first ever reggae record, which was King Tubby's meets Rockers Uptown, featuring Augustus Pablo, which is a legendary
Classic
roots album. And at the time I was so green to reggae, I didn't know this was a dub album. And with dub music, often you get voiceovers, you get little clips of a vocal normally running into an echo, and I had no idea that they were taken from something called a vocal version. I thought these were actually tracks made specifically just for dub. And it was only years later, like King Tubby's Meet Rockers Uptown is the dub wise to Baby I Love You So, Jacob Miller. I had no idea there was a vocal by this artist called Jacob Miller called Baby I Love You So. And that got me into exploring reggae more, and the fact that you have a vocal and a dub concept. And then I discovered sound system, and then I never really looked back.
Sound system. Now, this is going to be a theme because this is why we are talking today. For people who've never properly witnessed a sound system, I'm taking everybody straight to the core of it, at least what we know on this side of the Atlantic in Europe. I'm taking everybody to the legendary Jah Shaka. I have to say, the sound is quite distorted because the bass levels that he used to put out, he recently passed. The bass levels that he used to put out are just you cannot capture those on any microphone. So here we go with a tiny piece of Jah Shaka sound. Oh wow, oh wow. Don't we both love a dance?
Guan Shaka, that's all I can say.
That's all you can say. So can you remember the first time you went to Jah Shaka?
Funnily enough, I don't. I can't remember where it was or when it was, but it was probably in a church hall. He used to play community halls, church halls, community centres, or it could have been a place under the railway arches, which was which happened quite a lot with sound system dances. But what I do remember,
what was the vibes like?
Remarkable. I mean, I'd never heard a bass line, a bass so powerful, yet not distorted. It was loud, it was powerful, but not distorted. Shaka was different to a lot of the other sound system operators. A lot of the sound systems concentrate on volume, decibels. Shaka said it's more about the frequencies than the decibels.
So Shaka actually made sound tangible. You could feel it. You could feel it pass through your body, couldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listening to music on a sound system compared to listening to it on your regular hi-fi at home is incomparable. There are two different things. Tunes sound completely different on a proper, custom built sound system where you have separate speaker boxes for the bass, for the mid-range, for the tops and the tweeters, and each part of those frequency ranges is controlled separately through what's known as a reggae preamp.
Right.
And the preamp is like the equivalent to a DJ mixer, but far more intricate.
Better.
Yeah.
So this is the equipment you'll be taking to IRITS on June the 25th, isn't it?
Yes, I have. Although my sound system is minute compared to someone like Jah Shaka's in terms of speaker boxes, but the concept is the same.
Right.
So I have two towers, which will probably be.
Hold that thought. We'll be talking about your own sound system in a while. But we're still in your life timeline. We're still in London, DJ. This is where you used to live.
Yeah, but except where I used to live is out of sight because it was in the basement.
Right where that silver car is, there was a couple of steps down, and you lived in a very dark place.
Yes, I didn't actually have any pictures of the outside of the basement from the outside. So what was happening there? People were chopping down a tree that was causing damage to the building. None of us wanted it to happen because the tree had to die.
Yeah.
But so it goes. So that's what the ladder's doing there, and what the people are doing up there. They're chopping the tree.
Right.
And on the right hand side,
inside.
On the right hand side is I didn't really have many pictures, but that was a picture that I found of part of my studio in that basement, which I use a spare bedroom as a studio area.
And that's where you started consciousradio.net.
Yeah, in January the 27th, 2002 was the first official live show.
Right. And consciousradio.net, for those two people in the world who don't know what it is, give us a short rundown.
Well, consciousradio.net, as I said, went on there January 2002, and the reason I did it was because I wanted to entertain people with the music that I loved, and there was very limited exposure to roots reggae on conventional radio.
Mm-hmm.
In those days, in 2002, as far as the internet was concerned, it was in its infancy in terms of audio streaming, live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I was one of the very first in the world to actually do reggae streaming, reggae of any kind.
Well, to be honest, DJ, this is how you and I met, because I was online looking for, that's exactly what I typed in, conscious reggae. And your site popped up, and I was at work and I tuned in, and from the rest is history. We've been talking about conscious radio for almost 20 years now, you and I. So you were doing this out of the goodness of your heart. I mean, and you still do, which is great. You still do it every Sunday live. Tell the people what time.
7 till 10 p.m. UK time, which is 8 till 11 CET, and at the moment 1 till 4 p.m. Jamaica time.
Right. Please do tune in, people, because it's, if nothing else, it brings sanity to the world. After your long week, and you're all aggravated because things are going on at work and things are going on in life, and then you can just chill out on a Sunday with DJ Conscious.
And it also brings liberation. And a little anecdote from what Shaka once said, he one of the reasons that he did what he did was because he saw it as a liberation for an unliberated people.
There you go. And aren't we all unliberated in the end? So yes,
absolutely, yes.
Yes. So it's Healing of the Nations every Sunday on consciousradio.net. Well, your life in England abruptly ended, and I delved into my archives on PocaTV for a piece of interview I did with you at the time. Let's have a look at what happened after London.
I was pretty fed up with London life and having my day job and the stress that goes with that and all the Babylon situations there. And I did my maths and decided that I could sell up in the UK and buy here and live here. Why not? And take early retirement.
Oh, so you quit your job as well?
Absolutely.
So what's the plan here? You're going to live off of Conscious Radio? What?
No. Conscious Radio is still from the heart. It's still about the love of the music, and anyone who wants to hear it, they're welcome to. No, that Conscious Radio has never been about generating an income. It's been, as I said, a labour of love, and it still is really, because it actually costs me money.
Yeah.
Because I have to pay a streaming provider.
Right. People don't know this. We thank you for that, DJ.
You're welcome.
Yes, we are very, very grateful. So, but you're too young to just sit and do nothing except for the 3-hour show every week.
True.
So what's
I could do nothing for a while.
Yeah. But after that,
I get bored after that nothing while. Who knows? I mean, I have some ideas, business-wise, but I'm not really going to say that on this.
Oh, you're not?
No.
You're not giving PocaTV the scoop?
No. I'll give you the scoop nearer the time when it's more affirmative.
Well, of course, I have to ask you, is that time now? I mean, we've moved on 5 years from that interview.
Yeah. Well, since then, I have begun my B&B operation. So I have I have 2 guest bedrooms and dedicated bathrooms as well for people to come and stay through Airbnb. So that's an income stream.
Excellent. So where can people find your B&B?
Airbnb.
Yeah.
It's called Adam's B&B. So if you but with Airbnb, it doesn't allow you to find a property by the property's name. You can't do it. A lot of people have been complaining, saying they want to do it, but Airbnb don't allow it, and that's political. So let's.
But we're not going there. But I know that it's on your Facebook. Can people look at your Facebook and find it?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we'll put up a little something where they can find you. Okay.
Yes, and it's also on Twitter. It's a pinned tweet on DJ Conscious 1 is the tag.
That's the best.
Tweet.
Yeah. Yes. Pinned tweet on DJ Conscious 1 on Twitter.
The number 1. That is
the number 1 DJ Conscious 1 on Twitter is where they're going to find your pinned tweet, and that
Yes.
will take you to your B&B.
Yeah.
What you also did, and that was probably the first thing you did when you arrived in Jamaica to actually live there, to settle where we're seeing you now. You started your studio there, of course, for consciousradio.net. You have this little corner in your house. I wonder if you'll allow me to show people what that looks like, because you know me on my PocaTV, I film so much stuff, and I have a little clip of how your studio used to look. You've seen how it looks now. This is what it looked like probably the first weekend that DJ Conscious was living in Jamaica. Here we go. That's a tune and a half, DJ.
Yeah, and I'm struggling to remember what it is. It's a wicked tune.
That's okay. Remember. People just have to listen to your show, because I'm sure it's going to come up pretty soon now that it's in your head. So just showing the people again what the studio looks like now. You got it completely professionalized.
I think it's Horace Martin, but yeah,
it could well be. It could well be. This is what your studio looks like now, and this is where you do your weekly program that we so much enjoy.
Yeah.
Very recently, you at the beginning of May, no, at the very end of April, you did a special on the same Jah Shaka because
on the 12th of April, he passed away. And to be honest, I'm still coming to terms with it, because people used to think he would never, he would just go on forever. He's like one of these eternal, immortal kind of souls. And I always used to say that, he won't stop the sound system. The only time he'll stop it is when he drops. That's the phrase I used to use. And so it happened. So yeah, he died on 12th of April. On Sunday just gone, 30th of April, I did a tribute show with lots of anecdotes about my experiences and some other experiences from other people.
Hold on. I think there's a plane passing by.
Yes, it's a horrible, one of those horrible private planes.
Oh, they are
very noisy.
They are the scourge of Montego Bay. Anyway, please continue your story on Shaka.
Yes, so I did the tribute show where I paid homage and my respects, and how he made me feel, and how it affected my life, and how it affected me. Yeah. And I played strictly Jah Shaka music. So what that means is every tune I played was from his label, which is called Jah Shaka Music label.
Yeah, it was a wonderful show. I really enjoyed it, because I too love Shaka very much. Not quite as much as you, because you've been living Shaka for longer than I have. But I absolutely loved your special on him, which is still online. People can check it on your website, consciousradio.net. Just go to the archives. And I'm sure you must have put something there for people to know it's the Shaka special.
Yes, I put an image of him, and I put Jah Shaka, rest in peace. And also, the show can be downloaded, this is really important, because even, and you can download it from the archives page, consciousradio.net/archives, because it is on Mixcloud, but I'm expecting it to be locked down, because I breached the rules by playing more tracks than I'm allowed to. Yeah.
You are divulging, Adam. DJ, we have no time for that. But yes, always direct people to your own website anyway. consciousradio.net/archives is where everybody can find this special on Jah Shaka and download it. Use your click button and download it. Everything works perfectly. So for people who didn't know, Shaka was more than just sound system. Like you said, he had his own label on which he had many other artists, but he himself was a singer as well. And I'm showing a little piece of that. And it wasn't his own production. This was actually a Mad Professor production. But it shows us Shaka fully vibrant, singing a tune we all know, and looking fantabulous like he always did. Shaka improv.
My song shall be of Jehovah, my song shall be of the Father, 'cause Jah is my light and my salvation. My song shall be of Jehovah, my song shall be of the Father, 'cause Jah is my light and my salvation. Say what? Forward, ta-ta-ta-ta, children. Forward, ta-ta-ta-ta, children. Forward, ta-ta-ta-ta, children. Make we go, Africa. Make we go, Africa. Go, Africa.
Yeah, man, proper.
Yeah, proper. That's energy we're going to definitely miss on this earth, isn't it?
Rewind selector, as you said. Speaking of Mad Professor and Shaka, they did an album, a couple of albums together, and one side of the album was Mad Professor dubs, on the other side was Just Shaka, and this is what they did. So this is the Mad Professor side on his Ariwa label.
Yeah.
And
Hold on, let me pull you up full screen.
All right.
Show it again.
And if I flip it, the other side, which is Just Shaka, is his label.
Oh wow! Isn't that the way it should be in,
man,
in life?
Rastafari sharing and unity and everything.
Yeah, I don't think
how many of the other records have you ever seen where the label on the other side is different?
None at all. This is the first time I've ever seen anything like it. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
It's a Rasta thing. That's what
it
I
is.
think. Yeah.
It is unity and it is strength together and all of that. Yeah. So that's our little tribute to Shaka within a tribute to you, I guess. Of course, you haven't been sitting still in those years that you've been living in Jamaica. You've been known to rub shoulders with the greats in reggae. Tell us about these two meetings.
Well, actually, yeah, the one on the left is me when I met Prince Jammy at a conference in Kingston. The one on the right is actually in London. That's when I met Addis Pablo, which was before I moved to Jamaica.
Yeah, and so what is it like liaising with these people? How do you even start a conversation?
Oh, you just say wagwan, and you just start you just start talking. I mean, these people they're not like I don't know, a big star celebrity where you'd have to book them and maybe pay them a fee or something to have have an interview. These are just like normal people. They don't feel no way. This is one thing about reggae and Jamaicans especially. I think even though they're famous, it could have been Buju Banton. It could have been I don't know, someone a big dancehall star, and it would be the same way.
Very down to earth.
I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And does conversation always limit itself to reggae and dub, or do you go further when you have meetings like this?
In terms of these two, didn't really go further because just didn't have the time. They were just brief kind of moments. So I mean, I remember talking to Jammies about the Black Uhuru dub albums that he used to release, and he told me, of course, they were made especially for the non-Jamaican audience, because Jamaicans wouldn't buy dub albums. In fact, a lot of Jamaicans didn't actually buy records either, because record players were scarce, and then they cost money as well. And so most of the music that was made was actually sold more units abroad than in Jamaica.
And that's still the case, I believe, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, even if you accept the fact that, you know, in this digital age where less vinyl is being made, the principle's the same if it's a CD, for example. But most people in Jamaica just rip from YouTube these days.
Well, that's not only in Jamaica, everywhere.
Well, I know that's true. Yeah.
But you know, it's evident, DJ, that you know, the love for reggae is very deep with you, and you and I have often remarked on our heartache about the fact that the music that you and I love so much, which brought both of us to Jamaica, is no longer en vogue. But you, my friend, you are determined to change that, not only with your consciousradio.net, but also, as we were saying, with your very own sound system. This is the first day. This is the inauguration of your sound system. Do you remember it?
Yes, I do. It was just before the end of COVID restrictions in Jamaica. It was in my backyard, and because of the restrictions, I was limited on the number of people.
20, I believe.
Well, no, it was actually the legal limit was 10, but I think 20 reached. So, but So had I done it again now, then hopefully there'd be a few more people.
Right. Oh, well, you must plan for that. So now's the time to tell us about your equipment, because I know sound system people are very eager always to talk about their equipment. Don't go into too many details. Just describe what we're seeing here, please.
Okay, what you see here, remember I mentioned 2 towers earlier, and those 2 towers are joined together to make what is known as a stack in the sound system world. So what you're seeing is each tower is comprised of 2 double 18-inch bass speaker boxes. That's a lot of bass, basically. And then on top of that is a mid-range box. On top of the mid-range box is a horn, and on top of the horn is what's known as tweeters.
Yeah. So this is bespoke. This was made for you.
Yes, based on my design spec.
By whom? Let's big up the man.
Sheldon. My brethren called Sheldon. Yeah.
Sheldon built your sound system. So and then you were telling us about your amp.
Yes. So obviously for a sound system, in order for the speakers to produce audio, you need to have amplification. And so the picture on the right, which is a nighttime shot, you can see my 1 turntable. Yes, with reggae, it's just 1 deck. Well, with Roots, it's sound system. It's 1 deck, not 2. So you don't need headphones because there's no queuing to do. And underneath the deck, you can't really see that in this picture, are my power amps, and those are the amplifiers that drive the power that goes into the speakers, the signal, the audio signal. And to the right of me in that picture, and you can't really see it, is what you call is my preamp. And the preamp is a custom-made piece of equipment, a reggae preamp, optimized for reggae. So you have more than 1 separate control for bass, more than 1 separate control for mid-range and treble.
So you can tweak it just the way you like it to sound.
Absolutely.
How would you describe the sound that you want to share with the world?
A warm, loud, grumbling bass. So I actually, and this is, I go back to Shaka. Shaka was known, when he cranked up the bass, there was some distortion, but that was deliberate.
Yeah.
It was absolutely deliberate. And I have that same distortion control in my preamp, because I should mention my preamp was built by the same guy that built Shaka's, and only 15 ever were actually made. So I'm very privileged to actually own one of them. Shaka had 5 apparently.
Oh, and you have a one preamp made by the same people who made shakas.
The same one builder whose name is Metro Downbeat, who was a Jamaican that came to London in the 1950s.
This is a new story to me, so I'm glad you shared it.
Right.
You've been playing, I should say DJing at IRITS for quite a while now at the
Yes.
Indigenous village. This is
Yes.
not your own equipment we're seeing here.
No,
but,
it is. The turntables are my equipment.
Yes, but not your preamp, not your amp. I don't, and not your speakers for definitely.
Correct.
But tell us about your connection to IRITS.
Okay. I met the IRITS people back in 2018, I think it was, and I got talking at the Rasta village, and I got talking to one of the elders there, let's say, and as soon as he realised that I'm a selector, that I play reggae and I play vinyl, his eyes lit up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he told me about this event that they were doing then, which was the last Sunday of every month, where they have live reggae acts, amongst other things, and invited me to come and play and select, as long as I only played vinyl. And I said, yeah, that's I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
And then it took off, and I think the first session, the main act was Mika Shamaya, who from Kingston, which is a kind of crossover roots reggae act. And then I also played, selected, accompanied Richie Spice in another event, and another one was Luciano and Mikey General. So I played with some kind of names, and but then I was just selecting in between changeovers.
Right.
The difference this time on the 25th of June is that I won't just be doing that, but I'll also be and I'll also be doing that on my sound system. But also, once the live acts are finished in the evening, I will be playing my sound system, full on, properly.
And when you say full on, you mean full on? Are there any restrictions?
Well, the decibels will probably be increased. But also, when I say full on, as in a proper sound system session, in other words, with no interruptions for a live act and that kind of thing.
It's just going to be pure your sound system.
And no doubt, if the vibe is right, anyone who wants to take the mic and chant, then they're welcome to do it. But it won't be me. It won't be you.
But you're coming with your sirens and your sound effects and all of that?
Yes, all of that. Echoes,
and those
everything.
Fantastic stacks of yours. Well, the one stack, we should say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what do you expect of that night?
I don't really know. I mean, I'm just happy to be doing it. I'm not going to go with any expectations, because if it turns out that what happens is less than the expectations, then it's a letdown. So what will be will be. I just hope to entertain, and for people to have a good time. Yeah. Because it's very root sound system in Jamaica is seldom, very seldom. You have Gabri Selassie at Kingston Dub Club that pushes it. For those that know of Kingston Dub Club, but other than him and myself, I don't really know of any other people who are pushing roots in Jamaica. I'm not serious.
Lots of work to do for you. And I guess the very best way to start is among Rastas at IRITS. How would you characterize IRITS? What is it that draws you to IRITS?
Well, it's a Rastafari spirit, which is unity, one and all. It's almost like a love vibe, really. You don't get any. There's no aggression, as you would get with perhaps a dancehall dance if someone was going to check out Bass Odyssey or a sound system like that. It's a love thing and a unity thing, and that's one of the attractions for me. Also, they do incredible food. If you've never the proper ITAL food they do there.
Proper, yeah.
They have a proper tabernacle. They have bingy drummers. They have yoga. They usually have yoga and meditation sessions going on there.
It's the livity.
It's the livity, yeah.
And they have outspired other people, other countries even. Tell us about Wales very
Yes,
shortly.
last year, or the year, one of the last IRITS before lockdowns in Jamaica, there was some people from Wales that attended, and they loved so much what they saw. They spoke to the people who organised the event, IRITS, and said, wouldn't it be great if you could do something similar in our country, which is Wales? Lo and behold, it happened.
Wow.
Like the first one last year at a festival called Reggae Rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was called Reggae Rhythm. One of the sad things was that some of the elders and Richie Spice, they didn't get their visas on time, so they couldn't actually come.
It's always the same story. It is.
But some of the people did get their visas on time, so those people actually went. And because Richie Spice was going to be the main act, but because he couldn't go, and Luciano happened to be touring in the UK at the time, Luciano agreed to stand in as the headline act. And because Luciano and IRITS knew each other, obviously from their history, he agreed to do it.
Yeah.
And so they did this event in IRITS, which was well attended. In fact, the whole event sold out 2 months before the event itself. And it's now become official. The next one is going to be in 2024 in Wales. It's going to be in alternate years. And you never know, if they secure the budget, they might take me along as well.
Well, they should, because you and they are now totally linked, not only in the love of the reggae, but also in the spreading of the message, of the livity. Yeah. And well, you know, it would make you, you know, put foot in your, well, not in your home country, but near to your home country, maybe one time. But no, just you know, make sure that you consolidate this thing that you're having going now with IRITS, because they need you, and I guess you need them in a way. And I just wish I could be there on June the 25th. I'm going to miss the big event, but
well, I will say it is going to be video streamed live,
right?
And I'm sure if you can't make the live stream, I'm sticking my neck out here that the copy of the stream will be placed online somewhere. That's normally what happens with these things.
Excellent. That sounds like a great plan. And make sure, on my behalf, please, that if anything happens to the stream, that they start over, that, you know, I can watch it, and many people with me.
Absolutely. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Great. But that's in someone else's hands, all of that.
It always is, but you can have a look, be on the lookout.
But I wanted to say that one of the elders at Rasta Village, he made a comment when he was being interviewed about the event in Wales, and he said, whatever the situation, there is always a reggae song about it.
That is so true.
Yes.
That is so true. And that really touches my heart, because it's the story of my life, to be honest.
Well, but that's one of the draws of reggae as well. It's not just the rhythm and the beats, although that was the original draw for me, because to be honest, I didn't even understand a lot of the lyrics to begin with. I just loved how it sounded. But after a while, I began to understand what they were singing about, and actually, it was a serious thing.
It's deadly serious. It's no joke. Yeah.
And when I used to buy tunes that talked about apartheid in South Africa. This was obviously when Mandela was still in prison. Equality and justice for all, righteousness, one human race, all of that. And that made me fall in love with reggae even more. Well,
what a way to end this short program on you, DJ Conscious. Time has run out. Oh, doesn't it always, quickly? But I would like to remind everybody ever watching this video, and I'll probably link it to the end of this as well. I did a real comprehensive special on DJ Conscious in 2001, I believe it was. You were the very first guest I had on PocaTV live. And if anybody wants to know more about you, I really, really suggest that they check that out on PocaTV. And you and I must now say goodbye to each other for this moment, DJ. And I wish you the very, very best of luck on June the 25th. And once again, so sorry, I'm going to miss the whole thing. Any last thing you would like to say? Short?
Yes, 25th of June, IRITS which is Rasta Indigenous Village, in Montego Bay. And one of the things that happened a few years ago, which the IRITS people who actually live in that village were very proud of, was that an actual signpost now exists.
Yeah.
By from coming from downtown Montego Bay, so you can actually look at the signpost and find it that way. It's actually that kind of thing is a big deal in Jamaica.
It definitely is. And where can people find IRITS online? I'm sure you know.
Okay, the main places, the best places to go are Instagram, which is, and Facebook. They both use the same handle known as IRITSJA, IRITSJA.
Excellent.
And IRITS means, for anyone who wants to know what IRITS means, it means your highest self.
What a way to end this. Thank you. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
being here. And we're going to play out with something you did last year, so people can catch your vibe and see how people get really immersed into what it is that you do, even though you weren't playing on your own sound system then, but you were you played at Earl Chinna's Binkistra Movement Vinyl Fridays, and that was in July of 2022. We're going to play off with a little snippet from that, and then just wait and count the days till June 25th to see you live at IRITS in Montego Bay. Thank you again, DJ.
Blessed love, Poca.
Blessed, blessed. So here we go with that snippet. Until such time, be good, be nice, and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
I love vinyl. Do you? DJ conscious, just pull up is a must. It is a must.